Welcome, I'm Addison.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Mark.
This is our podcast where we review shows, films, comics, whatever you want, and share our very, very hot takes, tepid takes on all that stuff. So welcome to the Tepid Take. And we're back. I have no idea what to say.
Good start. Yeah. What are we back from?
That'll do.
Well, we've had a bit of a break, haven't we?
Oh, I guess so.
We have, to be fair.
So, Matt, you've been playing Little Nightmares. Tell
have.
us about that.
I have been playing that. I will tell you about that.
Tell me.
So they just released the second one. I've not played the second one, but I thought I would go back and play the first one. But I also watched something called Living with Yourself. It's a Netflix original series with Paul Rudd.
Well, you've thrown me for a fucking loop.
I like Matt's is like, and I've done this, and I've done this.
Not done it, but
Which
I've also read a book.
It's quite. Yeah, I've also read it. I've also written a novel. And I loved one of those things, and I hated one of the other things. So guess what I'm going to talk about?
Not the one I mentioned.
The Paul Rudd one.
No, the one you mentioned, because I hate it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, right, okay.
I thought it was meant to be quite good.
Yeah.
I just did not enjoy it at all. I started liking it. It's let me tell you what it is for anyone who doesn't know what it is. It's like a 2.5D platformer with like horror elements. It's a simple idea, and it's a good idea, but you kind of just your objective is to kind of escape this boat/submarine thing that you're like trapped in with all these nightmares, I guess you could call them, or like evil characters. I don't know if they're evil. I mean, I liked the idea of it. I liked the fact that it's like a horror genre thing. I think it's probably pretty obvious I like that sort of genre. Now I talk about it like every week, I swear. But like the mechanics of it were just abysmal. Playing
I
it
have
was
heard
just
the controls are a bit wank.
they are clunky as F. They are so fiddly. There was times, I think it's just awful. I don't know. The movement was just terrible. Because it's 2.5D, like the depth perception is like really difficult sometimes.
Right.
And say you're walking on like a pipe, which is quite thin, it's so easy to just walk off the edge.
Yeah.
And then you just die. Yeah. And then because of that, because if you die, you get sent back to like a checkpoint, which sometimes is just miles back. And it's such a long animation as well. And you're like, oh my God, I have to do all this climbing again. And, it's just...
Yeah. I've been playing Dark Souls, so I understand the pain.
Yeah. At least that's intentionally, hard.
So with the
with
the 2.5D and the fact that you kind of side scrolling almost.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
What year did that come out? Because it kind of sounds a little bit like Limbo and Inside,
like
that kind of style.
It was after Limbo. Definitely.
I feel like it's 2014. It's to 2017. Okay, it's later than I thought.
Oh wow, so it's after both.
Yeah.
And so with the 2.5D as well, so like
Yes.
because one of the main games that comes to mind is like Little Big Planet, which kind of did that. But I think the way you were talking
it's
about,
very similar to that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have
There is
quite
a bit of
like
depth.
free movement in the
You do.
kind of 2 point? Yeah, because like
you can go forward and back as well, but obviously because it's that camera angle, it's actually really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Kind of where you're moving, and like because the controls are so fiddly as well that it's so easy to just walk off an edge.
Oh wow! Because I remember Little Big Planet kind of you had like 3 levels of depth, and that kind of made it like easier to get across things like
you did, didn't
platforms.
you? Yeah, it was kind of like they were predetermined, weren't they? So that was kind of good, wasn't it? Yeah.
But this sounds a bit like just
this
movement.
is just free movement, and it doesn't work in my opinion.
No.
Right. Yeah, it's just impossible to control sometimes. I remember there's one part where you have to go through a dining table full of like people trying to like catch you and like eat you, and there's people on both sides of the table, and it took me so many times to do it the first time around. Honestly, you would slightly go to one side and they would just grab you, and you're like, oh, there's no leeway on this at all. You've got to really like thread the needle, and because the controls were so clunky, it was just like it took me so many times.
Yeah.
Then I stopped playing it, and I thought, oh, I'll come back. Well, I got past that bit. I stopped playing it because I thought, oh, I had a save point. I can come back to that afterwards. I came back to the game, and it put me back before that again.
Oh no!
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
Are you serious? And it put me well far back. I had to do that again. I was like, oh my God, I hate this. And then after I'd done
how much of this is Matt just needs to get better at the game?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
No, it is just awful.
Is it just genuinely quite clunky then? You think
It
it's
is.
like
After I'd done this a second time, the game decided it would crash.
What were you playing on? PC?
On PC, yeah.
And Matt has the best PC as well, so...
Thanks. And then, so I had to do it a third time. At that point, I was just like ripping my hair out. I was swearing at the TV. I was like,
So have you actually
"This
completed it?"
game." I did complete it, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not that long a game.
Okay.
I like the idea of it, and I'm hoping they've just improved a lot of it in the second one. I need to play the second one, really.
So from the reviews that I've seen, I think I watched one when it first came out. I don't think the controls have been improved too much.
Oh,
So
that's the thing that needed improving.
yeah, maybe a little bit.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it in the first one because it's kind of, indie game. You don't expect like AAA budget, I guess. But the second one, surely if you follow it with the sequel, it's going to have some money behind it.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah, they probably spent all their money on getting Darren Brown in the adverts. So
They probably did, actually. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Sorry, is he in the adverts?
yeah,
He's in the advert for the second one. Yeah.
Genuinely, the advert is so intriguing. I'm like, oh, it's a new Darren Brown show because like me and my partner were meant to go see Darren Brown live. I'm like, oh, great. Maybe he's just doing new tour dates for when we can actually go outside. No, it's Little Nightmares 2. And it's such a brief little bit of the game at the end as well. You could almost miss it. If you went out the room, you'd just assume it's some sort of new
That's
tour
a red
show.
flag. That's a red flag right there, isn't it? Because if they're only showing a little bit of gameplay at the end, surely that obviously means that the gameplay is crap.
They're like, just focus on Darren. Just
Focus on Darren. Yeah, we paid all this money. Focus on Darren.
Maybe they should get him to play it. Do like a Let's Play with Darren Brown, where he does mind control to make you actually enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Maybe he's put something like subliminal in the game that makes you love it.
This is good. This is good.
Another gripe I have with the game is sometimes your character gets hungry and gets like hunger pains, like they're like starving. So you've got to eat. Yeah, you've got to eat something, but the animation for the hunger pain is so long, and you do it like 3 times before you find something to eat, and you do that like 4 times in the game, and the first time it was like, oh, this is pretty cool,
Yeah.
And your character kind of gets more evil, I guess, towards the end. You start eating stuff that's like alive, but the animations were so long. I just wanted to get through them, and it was just like, why are you showing this every single time? Once is enough. Come on, yeah. Should just show me a part of it for the last 3, not the whole thing, because it takes like 5 minutes for this whole animation to go through.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Like you said, the first time it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You think they'd kind of like streamline it a bit later on.
Yeah, but it's just, I just found everything about it clunky. Yeah. On the Matt Scarometer, I would put it as a 2 out of 10. Not even
that is low.
Not even a little bit of Wii came out.
Oh my God.
Sorry, what?
He was completely dry.
What's your scale here?
So 10 is lots of Wii. Maybe poo.
Oh, scaremometer. Yeah, I
did not get that. I thought this was your game rating system.
All right.
A little bit of pee came out. 2 out of 10.
Like
Such
Red
a
Dead
Wii.
is diarrhea. Love it.
Just vomit. Full on hemorrhaging.
No, the Matt Scarometer.
Oh, scare. Okay.
So what sits at 10 then?
What sits at 10? Nothing as of yet.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Alien Isolation is probably about a 7, maybe an 8.
wet yourself
pretty
and
scary.
like maybe sharted.
No, a 9 is a shart.
I want the official. I want to see the official scale to this.
The yellow to brown scale.
I have to make one up. Oh my god, it really is.
The worst thing is, one time we're going to have a review and Matt's going to go, that was a 10. And we're all going to know what you did.
Shite his pants. Yeah.
Right, probably a good time to move on to Mark's topic, which was Football Manager.
Hey.
Don't fall asleep just yet. It might be interesting. Here we go.
Yeah, it might be. It might not be. But I think this is the first time I've spoken about something that I thought was a little polarising, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily love football, but you might like spreadsheets. So, Football Manager's the game for you.
I do like a spreadsheet, to be fair.
We do have a clip, I believe.
No, I forgot. Hang on.
It's your one job.
It's fine, we caught him off guard.
Championship Manager, completed it, mate.
You can't complete it.
Yeah, I know, but I got so good at it that the FA offered me a role in the England setup.
Did they?
I took Woking from the Conference to the Champions League in 6 seasons. Stuff like that doesn't go unnoticed, Neil.
So you would note at the start that he says Championship Manager. Well, actually, Championship Manager and Football Manager are the same game.
Right.
The Collier brothers, in their bedroom in 1992, put together Championship Manager, and then they had a falling out with Idios Interactive in around 2004, and that's when they changed the name to Football Manager. They took the database, the engine, and then Championship Manager kind of died off the kind of version that was kept by Eidos.
Yeah.
So the game, when it originally came out, was kind of just text-based, really basic stats, but really kind of smart algorithms and quite an extensive database, considering it was 1992. The game's around £20, I think. And there's 3 different versions out currently. So you can get the full version, which is just for PC. There is a touch version, which is on the iPad, Switch, Xbox. You can get that on PC as well. And then there is a mobile version as well.
All right.
And they've all got like different levels within them. So with the full version, you can literally do everything. You can do press conferences, training. You can throw a water bottle at people if you want to, because you're pissed off at them.
I'm getting this game, that's it.
That sold it for me, yeah.
It's absolutely mental. You've got every single physical stat you could ever want, everything about the player. You can like know what languages they speak, whether they're like disgruntled. But I think the thing I like the most about it is that you can kind of choose what you want to do. If you want to get really involved, you can, and you can spend absolutely ages doing a day-to-day task, or you can just go, right, I'm going to sim that, and then let someone else do this job, that job, and just play the part where you play the game.
Yeah.
So you don't actually kick any of the ball. It's not like FIFA where you control the characters. You're the manager, and you got to keep control of the finances, the players. You can do like your instructions for the players. You can do tactics. So I've been reading 2 books recently, kind of along with it. There's one called
Jesus Christ.
It's called Inverting the Pyramid, and it kind of looks at like the history of like tactics, and then the other one's the numbers game. So it looks like the statistical side of football as well. So it's a little bit nerdy.
I mean, that's proper intense, though. That's pretty cool.
You can. I think the fact you can control as much as you want, and you're kind of just a small piece of that world. Whereas when you play actual sports games, you're the center of the world, aren't you? And you can just do anything. Yeah. Kind of boring. So like silly little things like if you play FIFA, you can play as Athletic Bilbao, and you can sign any player in the world. But in real life, they only sign players from the Basque region of Spain. So you have to follow those policies. You have to kind of keep in tie with everything.
Yeah.
We have like match fixing and stuff in the Ukrainian leagues and stuff as well. It's quite funny.
So when you can you kind of like, kind of watch your games in this game? Watch like the football matches?
So back in the day, it used to be just text based. You'd just be sitting there waiting for something to flash up on screen. Whereas now you can get the full 90 minutes of 3D models, or you can take it all the way down to 2D, and then you can do minuscule things within the game as well. You can change tactics. You can so the feature they put in this year was you can throw a water bottle. So you're on the sideline and you get pissed off, you can just lob a water bottle.
Was that inspired by like someone in particular? Is there like a manager or a coach who did that?
I mean, it's happened a few. I've personally been to a Colchester game, and one of the managers lobbed it at the side of the stand, and it went everywhere. went all over me and the person I was with as well.
Oh my god!
And he loved it.
The thing I really like is that they have a world-renowned database, and these are just two guys that made it in their bedroom, like in '92. They cover I think they've got 1,300 researchers across the world. They have 2,200 clubs in 51 countries that they're doing, and they've now got official deals with all Premier League sides. As well as other sides around the world to use their database because it's so in depth.
That is pretty mental. Like,
I half expected it to be like, Truck Simulator, where it's like some German company has just fleshed out this weird truck simulator.
I think the name doesn't give it the credit it deserves, because I think we've grown up with kind of Pro Evolution Soccer and FIFA being such a big deal. Yeah. And you kind of get the chads that play it. Come on, we know it's the same shit every year, and it's crap. Whereas this is just insane. So you can just do anything. I think I like the kind of variety you get with it and the kind of teams you can choose. So for me, I've personally been playing. I played a few games now. I'm about 55 hours in, and I'm in 2032.
Oh my god!
And I picked up this little team.
Still around.
Yeah, it's COVID gone.
Yeah. So the thing I found really funny is that you've got like Brexits in the game. So like,
no way.
You have to work around work permits for players that aren't English, which is a real pain in the ass if they've not got so in depth.
Do you have to do a lot of paperwork?
It's essentially just football admin, and it's ridiculous when you think about. I spend 8 hours of my day doing like admin tasks and data analysis, and then I go, right, I'm going to chill out now.
I'm going to do some data analysis.
Data bases and admin.
So I've been playing as the 6th tier Dulwich Hamlet, who are in Dulwich, London. They're in, the 6th tier, the Vanarama South, National South. They wear like a pink and blue. That's why. Because I asked my partner, Catelyn, to pick out a team, and she picked them because they're a bright pink kit. She's like, I like them, we'll go for them. But I think actually then it caused me to look into their background as well. So they've got like a period tax situation. So like women that go to the games, they get like free sanitary products. They've got also kick out homophobia, so they support LGBTQ+. They play a lot of games with like Stonewall and stuff as well. And I think the mad thing is as well, you can go even further down than that. So you can load databases. So like, for instance, me and Addison grew up in a town called Ampthill, which is like 15 tiers down in the pyramid, but you could physically play as them if you wanted to.
Could you?
Oh my god.
That's
you
nuts.
can actually choose them and then work your way up to the Premier League. And I think the mad thing is, amazing. Like for me, I'm playing as Dulwich, and the players there are part-timers. So in real life, some of them are like electricians, plumbers.
Yeah.
And you've got them on these like part-time contracts, and you've then got to negotiate new contracts for them, but you don't want to spend too much because you've only got so many finances because your director's gone. No, we're not giving you the money this year.
That's
mad. Oh my god.
This is actually sounding pretty good.
That's the thing. Like it's probably not a game I would play, but I hugely respect how in depth it is.
I think it's for the real people that appreciate the game. And I think the general people that play it aren't 13-year-olds that want to open packs and try and score goals. This isn't for them, whereas this is so in depth. And I think it's a really rewarding game. If your tactics work out and your throwing the water bottle works, gets them in line, but sometimes it's stressful. You're like, oh, this is annoying. And then you turn it off and then stick on the real football. You're like, oh, this is shit. No, it's like my team's doing crap. Like, give me a break.
Just like the game.
So real.
But the one thing of kind of tying it back into what we talk about, like films and stuff as well. So Wrexham, not too long ago, were picked up by I've forgotten the name. Rob
McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. So that's now in the game. So if you go into Wrexham and you take over Wrexham, you will have your director being Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
That's pretty cool. So they updated then, obviously.
Yeah, it's live updated constantly.
God.
And I can't even imagine how much work that must take to do the whole database. It's just huge.
Is it a game? Because I know, I haven't played FIFA in years, but I know FIFA is quite plagued with microtransactions and a lot of paywalls these days. Does this game suffer from that?
Not a single paywall. I think there is a function if you've got it on Steam that you can buy little extras, but they're like a one-off payment.
Oh wow!
You can choose to have a big investor, but I don't know why you would, because the big fun of it is having this underdog taking them to the big ranks. That's what all the teams I've chosen so far are always like these little teams. I never choose a big one because I like the kind of journeyman, start from the bottom, let's see how big this club can be. It's really it's fun. I think it's not for everyone.
No,
but
I can see that. Yeah.
If you're bored of the constant churn every year of FIFA and Pro Evolution, I would definitely recommend giving Football Manager a try if you've not, and maybe go for the mobile or the touch version because it's more basic and it's not as in depth and less overwhelming.
Yeah, and if you like that, then maybe move on to the bigger versions.
The
I think
hard
I'd go
stuff.
for the Switch.
The hard stuff, yeah.
I wouldn't mind playing it on the Switch.
That's
You
very
said
good
it was
point.
on the Switch, didn't you?
Yeah, it's on the Switch. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's the same thing as the other week. Oh, no.
Because we've got a trend on this podcast and never hearing the word Switch.
I just really wish they'd stick Scott Pilgrim on the Switch.
Yeah, I know, right?
One
They
day,
need to get it
one
on
day.
there.
I think
Go
before
on, we talk about that direct later. It's going to be chaos.
Oh, God.
I think kind of closing statement before I pass it over is something I saw this week. So there was a kind of Twitter thing going on where people were like, tell me about your game, but don't tell me the title of the game. And the guy's response was, I scout the world looking for young boys. Because they could be a wonder kid for your team.
Catholicism manager.
Yeah.
So we'll move on there.
Why do we keep ending on weird subjects, Maz?
So, Sam, you've been trying to catch up on something really recent, haven't you? Jurassic Park.
Right. You almost like, you were shitting me up there because I was like, wait, hold on. So
The modern Jurassic Park.
Do you want me to lead you back in?
Yeah. You threw me off.
God, this is staying in.
So, Sam.
Do the soundbite.
All right.
I'm sacking you in the morning.
So, Sam,
I was
you've
hoping
been
for Sam to be
fuck
talking
me.
about it.
I feel like this should stay in.
I think this should stay in.
Right,
Right,
okay.
I'm playing the soundbite.
All right.
Jurassic Park, everyone.
I can't find the touchpad.
Oh, I know what the sound was.
Holy fucking shit, it's a dinosaur.
Brilliant. I like the way Mark like stretches it out at the end to like stay in tune. It's a dino. Yes. Okay. So Addison, have you led me in yet? I can't remember.
I don't fucking
Oh
know.
my God. Just
I
talk
watched
about
Jurassic Park. I watched the Jurassic Park trilogy and Jurassic World, just the first one because I couldn't find the second one. Anyway, I've just been watching like quite a few classic trilogies lately, and kind of came across Jurassic Park and was like, oh, I haven't watched that in a while, especially like back
so
to
what's
back.
it about?
It's about a guy. I'm not going to explain Jurassic Park. Everyone knows it. So I started on the first one. Still as good as I remembered. I just like it. Still blows my mind how good that T-Rex scene is. Like that initial T-Rex scene.
Oh, yeah.
The effects in that film are amazing still.
They're pretty good.
Still.
That's the good thing about using practical effects is they don't age.
Yeah.
They don't seem to age. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see
They had
that.
to keep taking out of the water because there was rain, wasn't there, at the time?
Yeah.
They were trying to kind of keep it out of the water constantly so it didn't break down.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
I didn't
amazing.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the animatronic stuff is like incredible, and because that scene is at night and in the rain, even the CGI stuff looks still like holds up because I guess it's hidden more, whereas some
Yeah, I
of
suppose
the
so. Yeah.
daytime dinosaur CGI is like you can kind of tell, but you can appreciate the year it was made. Yeah, so. But the ones I was really interested in watching again were Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, because I know, Addison, you were saying that you kind of prefer 3 over Lost World, right?
Because it's a better
He's
film,
just
yeah.
wrong. He's wrong.
It's a better film.
There's gonna be a battle
There's a
here.
daydream and there's a fucking velociraptor talking to him.
It's one scene.
It was quicker than I remember. I will say that. It was like, oh, okay, that was it. So, yeah, Lost World. I really appreciate that Spielberg tried to like go a different direction with it, but I will say that the pacing of it is a bit stretched.
It's why I don't like it as much as the third one. By the time you get to San Diego, I am just tuned out of that film fully.
I do love the bit when the ship crashes into the dock though. Like,
yeah, it's got good bits, but you just want the film to end because it feels like there's that final bit with the Velociraptors in that like hut place or wherever it is, and that feels like a final bit because they then get off the island. Yeah, but then there's still like 40 minutes of the film left.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, that's quite a long time.
You definitely do feel it.
It is
at that
about
point.
that as well.
Yeah, it's quite long, like because there's quite a huge build up to it. It doesn't like start straight away. There's like a lot of dialogue in between. It doesn't jump straight into the action. But yeah, it was kind of weird with the Lost World. Like my initial reaction was like, yeah, it's alright. But the more I kind of reflected on it, it kind of like grew on me a bit. Yeah. And then I watched 3, and yeah, I do think the pacing's better of 3. But I think it lacked tension. Like tension build up.
The parents really don't help in that third one as well.
Yeah.
But can I just ask, how good did you find that bit where they were trying to get out on the plane and that guy runs onto the landing strip?
Oh, that's a great scene.
That is a great scene.
Yeah. I had to think about that scene.
That's such a good bit. And then he gets absolutely chomped.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it above the trailer going off the side of the cliff, though.
That is a good bit, to be fair.
Oh my god, yeah. I think that's what like really like stuck out in Lost World was it had like another great like the kind of 2 T-Rex scene and the whole like caravan RV thing may like just be underneath like the initial T-Rex scene in the first one for me.
Interesting.
Like it's definitely up there. It was
again like
is one of the best.
Spielberg is so good. He's so good at building that tension.
It's got the clever girl scene as well, isn't it? With the Velociraptors.
That's the first one.
That's the first one.
Is that the first one? Yeah, I was trying to remember which one it is. I kind of tend to do what you've done and back to back them when I watch them.
Yeah, see, we kind of grew up with them, so I've seen them a lot, which is why I know the third one is better.
It is a fact.
What are your thoughts on Jurassic World?
The first one's fun enough. It's pretty much more the same thing. I'm not looking for like anything too in depth with these films. I just want to enjoy it.
It's kind of like Force Awakens to A New Hope, I guess.
I think the Indominus kind of Rex in the first one and Indominus Raptor in the second one. I like the dinosaurs. I think they're pretty badass because of how powerful they are. But I think the fact that they're kind of now making random ones to add in.
Yeah.
I don't know where I sit, to be honest.
I like it because, that's the thing. I am just looking for fun, and that is what you get with those films. The second one, again, has a very similar problem to Lost World in that it drags by the end. So it's not as fun. But I would say the first one is just as fun as some of the other earlier ones.
Yeah, it is a good film.
Yeah, like I haven't actually seen the second Jurassic World film, but yeah,
Lost Kingdom.
It's got some good bits, but it's nothing amazing. I wouldn't rush to see it or anything.
No. Yeah, Jurassic World. It was interesting watching that, like almost straight after watching the Jurassic Park trilogy. Like one thing that really stuck out to me, and it was kind of annoying me, was how like bright the film is, which is a really weird criticism.
This film is too bright, man.
It's so like
it's very slick and futuristic. Is that kind of what you mean?
And it looks very like digital. Like you could, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. It's too like I kind of feel like the Jurassic Park films. I was gonna say are really dirty.
Grounded in reality.
Yeah, that's a better way.
Yeah,
but like they feel like
I get what you mean, but I also understand why they've done that because it needs to feel that way for what they're going for.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Plus, there's like 20 years between the films as well. I think there's a level of like just directing and kind of everything they use in the films.
Yeah,
it's going to look cleaner, isn't it?
It does do that sort of annoying. It's something that bothers me with Marvel films as well, where all the technology is so far ahead of where we are, and yet it's kind of meant to be present day.
Yeah, definitely.
And that always kind of bothers me. I don't know why. It just kind of irks me a bit.
Normal people need to get on with it. God damn it.
They would, but they're making films.
If they spent the money they made on films on legs and something.
What are you talking about?
Legs?
Like cybernetic legs.
I'm so lost. I think this is a weird enough thing to end my part on.
Yeah. We're 3 for 3 so far.
Cybernetic legs, I was thinking of. I don't know why I just said legs.
But why are you talking about them?
Like Velociraptor legs?
Because it's futuristic.
Okay.
There you go.
So,
Cool.
I want to see in the next Jurassic Park film or Jurassic World some cybernetic legs on Velociraptors. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, they can't chomp them off if you're cybernetic.
Mecha Raptor.
That's going to be like...
Who's editing this one? Good luck.
But yeah, Jurassic Park. Good shit.
Good shit. Good
film,
to hear
yeah.
that review of a 27-year-old film.
You know, just you gotta respect the old classics sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
So that leaves me for last. Best for last.
No.
Moo.
And because I love the sound of my voice, I've actually watched 4 things on the new Star service on Disney Plus. So I watched all the Star originals, at least one episode for each one.
Okay.
Have you guys watched any of them? So it's Solar Opposites, Big Sky, Hellstrom, and Love Victor.
Okay.
I'm
the one I'm most interested in is Solar Opposites because it's by the guys who did Rick and Morty.
It is just Rick and Morty, basically.
Yeah, it gave that very much.
Yeah. So I've watched 3 episodes of that one, which is all that's up at the moment. If you like Rick and Morty, you'll like it. If you don't like Rick and Morty, you won't. It's as simple as that.
Who doesn't like Rick and Morty?
Lots of people.
They're wrong.
I hate everything to do with
probably
Rick and
watched
Morty
it
apart
myself.
from the show.
Oh really?
Yeah,
The fans are horrible. Yeah.
The fans are
They're horrific.
gross.
Yeah.
And like the merchandise always like, ugh.
Yeah, it is very much that. That is very true actually.
Yeah.
Pickle Rick.
But I do like the show. And this one is more of the same.
Okay.
Kind of not getting what the general overarching plot is, but again, it doesn't really matter with this sort of show.
Rick and Morty doesn't really have a plot, does it, as such?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what
Yeah.
I mean.
It's a background kind of watch, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Fully,
that's
100%.
yeah.
And that is what it's going to be for like us. We're just going to watch it whenever. Same way we do with Rick and Morty, really. Yeah. So if you like it, Rick and Morty, check it out. If you don't, because you won't like it.
Okay. Good way of putting it. Yeah.
The next one I watched was Hellstrom, which was actually a Marvel thing. And I didn't know this until I put it on.
Oh,
So it's technically set within the MCU. It has already been cancelled. So it was I would say by far the worst one I watched. It was
Wow.
I had it on and tuned out so much. I just couldn't concentrate on it.
So what's it about?
It's very it's like a Marvel Constantine almost.
Okay.
So it's about these brother and sister who seem to be demonically possessed or something like that, or their mum's demonically possessed and they have powers and abilities and stuff. So their mum's locked up in an insane asylum.
Okay.
And then they have weird magical abilities that they try and use to help people out. Which kind of sounds interesting, but it's not executed well.
I actually thought it sounded shit, but
It could be good. Like I don't mind. Like Constantine, the film, I really like, and the comic books are meant to be quite good, and so was the show that was based on that. So the prospect of having that within the MCU could be good, but
they've not done it very well.
no interest in this really.
Yeah.
I can see why it was cancelled. I definitely won't watch any more episodes of that. Yeah, it does seem a bit of a shame.
It sounds like they just wasted the opportunity completely with that. I guess that's why Marvel haven't made much of a big deal of it.
Yeah, well, I hadn't even heard of it
No.
until
27% on Rotten Tomatoes. It looks like it's been hammered into the ground.
Yeah.
pretty bad, isn't
So the weird thing with these are a lot of them were on Hulu first, because there's a joke in Solar Opposites where they mention it's been on Hulu as like a meta joke. They kind of do on Netflix sometimes as well.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah.
Possibly all of them came from Hulu.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was kind of looking through that they've all been on Hulu, all came out in 2020, and have had their full run of episodes as well.
Well, the interesting one for me was the Big Sky one. So they actually referenced the pandemic a couple of times in it,
Wow.
which I found very interesting considering how soon it is. I was expecting these shows to be like at least a year or two old. But this one must be fairly recent.
Yeah.
So that one's a murder, well, it's like a mystery plot.
Okay.
Set in Montana in the States. It's shot very well. The plot so far is fairly intriguing. And the pilot episode ends quite well. But the characters so far are just irritating. It's very soap opera-y.
That's weird.
Like there's like weird kind of family dramas that they're setting up, and you're just kind of, I don't know any of these people. I don't really care yet. So that may go somewhere, and I'd be quite interested to watch at least one more episode of that.
That's the storyteller for that one's the guy that did Big Little Lies, isn't it? So it's kind of got that. It's going to drag on probably for 10 episodes before you find out anything.
I'll be honest, I've never seen that, so I'm not actually sure. It could easily be that. Yeah, so the central mystery is, I guess, a kidnapping, but you know who the kidnapper is. Like, they show him full-faced, and you get introduced to his character.
Or is it?
Well, the larger mystery could be something else.
I'd like to hope it wouldn't be simple.
No, and as I said, the ending of that pilot episode kind of sets up for that quite nicely. There was something that happens in that last 10, 15 minutes. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. Cool.
Okay, that sounds...
Which is probably why I feel like watching another episode, so they did that quite well. Otherwise, I may have just kind of gone, it's fine.
That sounds watchable, definitely.
It definitely is watchable, and it does look really good. Like, they've made Montana look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe check that one out if it sounds like your sort of thing. And then the last one is Love Victor, which is a spin-off of the film Love Simon. Have you guys seen the film?
Yeah, I saw the film 2018. Okay. I think it is a really nice film.
Yeah, so I watched it today just to kind of get a set up for the show, and I'm kind of glad I did because they spoil that film in the first 30 seconds. The whole thing of the film is that it's a mystery of who he's talking to and signing off his emails to, and they tell you who it is like straight away.
Is it the name of the TV show?
No, it's not.
So he's talking to Simon, isn't he?
He's talking to Simon in the TV show, yeah. But they do a kind of recap of the film within the first 5 minutes, and they do spoil it. So if you fancy watching it, watch the film first. So that one's about a guy who moves from Texas who is gay and hasn't told his family yet, and wants to start kind of afresh in this new town, but still can't quite work up the courage to come out. So it's going to deal with his struggles with that. And he's talking to Simon, who left this whole big story in his wake from the film about his coming out. So it's him talking to him about that. So it's interesting. If you like the film, again, you might like this. I would say the TV show so far seems a lot more teeny than the film.
Is it really small?
The thing is, I think the film itself did a kind of a fantastic job at representation. I think for us,
it did.
Us
yeah,
four,
I would say it did.
Being white males, we're kind of represented throughout everything in life. All media's got us, but I think I think it's a fantastic job what they did with Love Simon, and the fact they've now expanded it with Love Victor. I think it's just a fantastic thing.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
We need more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really recommend the film, and on the back of that, I guess the show as well. I probably will watch at least the 2 other episodes that are up, just to kind of see where it's going. But if it is a bit too, because I'd say the characters are really strong in the film, and they're not as strong in this TV show yet. But it was only a half-hour episode, so it's kind of unfair to judge it at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I'll stick with that one. So yeah, out of the 4, the only one I didn't particularly like was Hellstrom.
Yeah.
Which is the Marvel one.
Which is the Marvel one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's crazy.
But this new service it's brought with it like a ton of like films as well.
Yeah, loads of films.
Like a huge catalogue.
It kind of makes Disney Plus more worthwhile, I think.
Yeah,
I think
makes
so.
it a bit more of a streaming service than just pure Disney stuff.
Than just
it does feel.
I mean, they do own Star Wars, Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
National Geographic.
But if you don't particularly like any of those, this may bring a new aspect that you will like. But I don't think it's like a game changer. If you don't like the Disney, Marvel, Star Wars stuff, I don't think this is going to like sell it for you. There's not enough there.
No. I can see like a lot of people sticking with Netflix because obviously it's been around for so long.
Yeah,
and people are so comfortable with it.
That's the thing. The library is so varied
vast.
on Netflix, definitely.
Yeah, and varied.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Was there like a restriction for some reason on Deadpool? Because Deadpool is now on there because of the star upload, but I didn't know if there's a reason why it wasn't on there before.
Oh, right.
I did notice that when they updated it with Star, they did ask if you wanted parental.
Yeah, it may actually be the rating then. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they changed the rating of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never really thought of that.
Because I would have thought it went up with the X-Men stuff, but I guess it didn't.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the X-Men stuff is 18, is it?
No, nothing else. Apart from maybe
Other
Logan.
than Logan. Yeah.
Logan's
Is
not
Logan
on there.
I've never
No,
seen
it's
is
not
it
on
not?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They could, in theory, do the same thing Netflix do, couldn't they? Have adult profile and then you can have a kid profile.
Yeah.
Just kind of select that. Here you go,
Yeah.
kids, watch.
Well,
Well,
they've done
it's actually more
think
the
they have
other
done
way, because it starts as a kid profile and then you enable the adult stuff, which is the start
Oh,
Kind
stuff.
of it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Put a pin on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because if you log it on now, it asks you to set up a pin, or if you want to.
Yeah, instead of Logan, I ended up watching Toy Story. Just so you know.
Yeah, similar tones.
Yeah, I can see where you come from.
Similar film. Yeah, it's a good addition, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah.
you already have it, it's great. But
Yeah, exactly.
if you're not, there's nothing on there, I would say, that's essential yet.
No, there's
I
nothing
have
on there
no- I
worth
have no idea.
getting it for.
No, I don't know how much plans they have to add to it either.
Yeah, because I do think like Disney Plus did need bulking out a bit though, because like I do find like that at the moment they're just kind of like the one big show service, where it's like Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
Now it's WandaVision, and I think this year will be there's what's the next one? Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And it's always like the next big show, but hopefully this kind of like adds a bit more variety to it, I guess.
So I think that's probably a good time to move on, actually.
No, you haven't said anything weird.
Stick a star up your butt.
Stick a star up your butt. What, Mike? What?
What?
I think he's
You
saying.
saying something?
I think he's saying.
Tiny little bubble.
Still didn't get it.
Right, there we go.
It's too
Let's
airy.
move on. We've also had the 3 directs from Nintendo, PlayStation, and Pokemon, which we'll discuss. Who wants to kind of kick us off here?
Right, I will kick off, I think, with the Direct. So, it's been 500 days since the last Direct.
Did Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
50 minutes we were promised. And, yeah, it wasn't great, was it, boys?
Well, I didn't actually watch it, and I feel like I got as much information as you guys did.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It felt like a whole day watching it.
Yeah, so for the people listening, during the Direct, I decided that I was going to text the group chat live updates of what was on screen.
Yeah.
But as opposed to telling them actually what the game was about, it was just kind of my personal review in the style of Addison.
This is rubbish. This is wank.
So yeah,
This is
pretty much
shit.
the whole lot was, this is shit. I hate this. This is the worst.
Mario Golf! Oh my god!
Smash character.
I would like to
great.
say that on the podcast, so for all our listeners know, I've been very positive. Does not reflect my real life normally.
And I've been very negative, but I'm actually quite positive. Sure. Why not?
And Sam never says pull out in his daily life.
Oh, fuck, my drink just went up my nose.
I haven't said it yet.
Sam
Pull
just
out.
doesn't pull out.
I pulled out my phone to watch this Direct.
Where'd you pull it from? Your arse.
I shouldn't say. with the star.
The star. No, it was next to the star. Anyway.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think this Direct had like so much.
Such guff.
Like,
so much guff.
yeah, but
Felt like
the
filler.
fact that they hadn't done one in that long as well, and it was like,
Yeah.
come on, you've got to like come out and fucking smash it, and it was
Yeah.
just like, look at this crap game. Like, I don't know, everything just felt so low budget, and you know that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, indie games are great, but it was just like they needed some heavy hitters to like.
Yeah.
I think I'm a bit worried for Nintendo, like as to what's on the horizon, because it feels like they're really struggling.
So I know a lot of people who have Switches for the sort of big games that come out on it, and they're not big gamers, and that's the whole reason they have Switches, and they basically have 3 games because the library is just so small for those sort of AAA Nintendo titles.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Which is such a shame.
I class myself as one of those sort of Switch gamers, actually, that I don't have many Switch games, because there's nothing on it that I'm interested in, really.
It turned 4 the other day, didn't it, the Switch?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, I've genuinely played it probably only to play Spyro, or when we played Mario Kart or something else on it. Mario Party as well. Like, when it's been a group, then I'll play it. Kind of like how the Wii used to come out.
Yeah.
But I've not really played much else on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I do play the Switch a fair bit. I do tend to pick up their, but again, it's mostly for their like exclusive, big Nintendo titles.
That's the thing, yeah.
But
I would say they've only had
like,
one that is exclusively for Switch, and that is Mario Odyssey. Because anything else that's fairly big was on the Wii U.
That's true. Yeah,
That is true.
Breath of the Wild.
We'll just forget about
it is a lot of ports.
Animal Crossing, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, there are other. Yeah.
That's a huge audience, though.
Yeah, that is to be fair.
Animal Crossing is kind of the same game every time, really, isn't it? But it's just slightly tweaked.
Yeah,
each
just
time.
Tom Nook being a little rat.
Yeah.
Take all your money.
You little
I
sod.
think he's a raccoon.
Tom Nook is a wanker anyway, because he wants your money. He keeps giving you loans. It's like a loan shark.
Give me your money.
I think he's a raccoon.
Oh, for God's sake. Funny enough, they did announce something for Animal Crossing, and it was like Mario stuff in it, wasn't it? Which is
yeah.
Which again, is just
The
like,
cool thing is there's a warp pipe in there, so you don't actually have to bother going around the island. You can just...
that is cool, but I don't think it's very Animal Crossing themed.
The islands are tiny as is. What are you warping to?
Yeah, they're not massive.
you need a fast travel.
all my bells.
Up to my neighbours.
It takes like 2 minutes to walk the whole island.
Yeah, and that's 2 minutes I've saved, so who's winning?
Yeah, right.
But you've got to walk to the pipe still.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. How long does that take?
Yeah. Depends where you put the pipe, I guess.
Mario Golf looked cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
played a Mario Golf game,
Yeah.
I don't think, other than Wii Sports.
The Wii one was really good.
And the one on the
I'm sure it was,
GameCube's
yeah.
fantastic as well. That's what we used to play kind of every year when we used to meet up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One thing I did say during the Mario Golf reveal was I said, wow, why haven't they used motion controls on it? And then literally the next thing they showed on the trailer was motion controls.
It's like, use the Joy-Con.
Why I can't use the Joy-Cons? Use the Joy-Con. I was like, oh, okay, I'll shut up now.
The narrator for that was actually hilarious as well, wasn't it? She was like, and there's all new story mode.
She was very excited about it.
I like the fact you could race to the
That
post
mode
as
looks
well.
really cool. I like the idea of that
Yeah,
mode.
that looks like a proper party mode.
And I hope they do it well, because it could go either way. Either it's really shit and everyone just pisses you off, or it's quite fun.
Yeah.
I think that's probably something I will pick up. That is probably the one game from the
Oh
direct
yeah, I would
that I'm
definitely pick
actually
that one
interested
up.
in. Yeah.
I would probably pick up that Zelda remake, because I haven't played many Zeldas. But apparently that's not a great one.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
kind
I
of.
don't know why they've announced that one is coming.
I know, it was crazy that like they went to the guy who's kind of like running the Zelda franchise at the moment, and just the fact that he was like, I know you want to hear about Breath of the Wild 2, but I'm not going to
tell you
talk
anything
about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. And it's
Thanks.
like, I'm not saying like give me a release date, but just like a little something.
Just a
would have been
couple of
nice.
images
Like,
would have been okay.
yeah, that's all I want.
Something, concept art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much.
an official title or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
And
Well, they
then,
never
yeah,
really want to go
then-
back on anything they say, so they're never going to do anything until it's set in stone.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard great things about Skyward Sword, but I've
No.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool. Like I like that it's very heavily motion controlled. Personally,
Yeah, I like that, and it's kind of very like it's good motion controls. It's not like just like basic stuff. You just swing, and
Yeah.
you just swing your sword. It's kind of there is
Twilight
actually an
Princess.
angle to it, and
yeah,
it's quite nice. Yeah.
Do you think that's why they put the £60 price tag on it? Because they've had to work the mechanics into the Joy-Cons?
No, they put it,
was
on
on the-
because
it was on
it's
the
the
Wii
Switch
anyway,
tax,
so-
and they're money grubbers.
Yeah. Thing is, it should have had motion controls on the Wii
Yeah.
one anyway, so
Did it not?
just didn't work very well. It did, but it didn't work very well.
No,
I
it
don't
did.
think. Yeah.
How much has this actually been remastered? Does it look the same, or have they actually done
No
anything to the
idea,
graphics?
to be honest with
Oh,
you.
okay.
Hopefully they've pumped it all up, and it does look a lot better.
Yeah.
But I still £60 for a game that is old is not. It's not on. I don't think really.
no, like
You get three.
you know-
you can get 3 Mario games for like £35 in the All Stars. 3D All Stars. That's good value.
35
I
quid?
think. Well, that's what I paid for it. I don't know.
Oh, right. I was like, who are you buying your copies from?
From Dodgy Derek.
Obviously, it'd come down in price. But it wasn't 60 quid when it came out, was it?
I don't think it was far off.
But I was
Yeah,
happy
it was
to.
50-ish, I think.
But that's
Pay
okay.
that.
It's 3 games,
There's 3
so
games,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
So that's 20 quid a
fine.
game. That's okay. But not like 60 quid for one old game. I think that's a bit
I know.
much.
It's the same with like last episode I was talking about 3D World and how like they added that Bowser's Fury part, and I truly feel like that kind of justified the price a bit more. But just to be like, here's
not done it with this.
that Zelda game that
They could have done Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, and another one. You know, in a pack. That would be worth 60 quid. I would be getting it on day one. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like Addy said last time.
Mega Zelda.
They
Mega Zelda.
but they won't.
Yeah, they can, but they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I was never going
Yeah.
to get my hopes up.
It almost feels forgotten, especially with the Mario 35th being cared about, and now you've got Zelda 35th, which is equally as big, if not a bigger audience for different people.
Yeah.
Just ignored.
Yeah, I think like, the Nintendo fan base is divided between what games do you prefer, Mario or Zelda games, and like
Animal Crossing.
just to
He's a raccoon.
For God's sake.
All I want is a Master Sword on my island now.
That would be pretty cool.
that's probably what they'll do. They'll be like, and to celebrate Zelda's 35th anniversary, you can get a Master Sword on your fucking island.
Yeah.
Or the small price of £10 microtransaction.
You could smash a pot.
I think overall that was the biggest disappointment. Like for me, was just the lack of Zelda content. Especially after our last episode.
We did a whole podcast on it.
I've been like,
They announced nothing. They announced
it's
one
just like Skyward
rubbish
Sword
thing.
remaster.
Did the Splatoon trailer at the end have everyone else feeling the same? Because the last time the Direct happened 500 days ago, the end Direct had a Smash Bros. Release as part of it, but it was in the eyes of one of the Splatoon characters. So I kind of assumed the Splatoon trailer at the end, it's going to be a big Zelda reveal. No, it's just actually a Splatoon game.
I did not think that, because why would they do that?
I thought it would be like a Splatoon RPG game, I thought.
I mean, the rest of the games were RPG.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? I've never played one.
Same as you, Matt.
No, I don't mean Splatoon. I mean all the other games in the Direct.
Oh, I see.
It was just Japanese RPG.
Yeah,
So it makes sense to
RPG.
just complete the collection,
Yeah, I have no
with
interest
these-
in Splatoon. It's a shame it was like the swan song of the Direct.
Oh, it was just like, I'm done now. I'm finished.
But that's the thing, like, because Matt, you were saying like how you thought it was going to be like a kind of open world RPG. Like, it's set up to look like it was going to be that, and
it
then
did, didn't it? Yeah.
as soon as it returned to like the little
normal
city,
play style. Yeah.
yeah, that it's set in, I was like, oh, well, that's
The
a
same
huge
game again, then,
disappointment.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
like,
just
maybe
releasing the same game.
Yeah, unless it, they haven't said that yet, and it is going to be that, but it just felt like as soon as it returned to the same location as previous games, I was like, oh, same again.
Yeah. Just a money grab. The one game I did think looked alright was Miitopia.
Which one was that?
That's
the
the
one where
one
you
that's
could be-
from the 3DS, and they've made a full Switch version.
It's like
for.
Final Fantasy, but with your Miis.
Okay.
The one, that does look pretty good actually. Like I think
looked funny,
it would just be a laugh because like
I think it would be a laugh.
hilarious in themselves. The one that kind of like stuck out to me because and it's got the worst name at the moment, which they say is a working title, but we'll see.
Oh, I know what
was
this is.
Project Triangle Strategy? Was that what it was?
Such a bad name.
I think it's just Project Triangle, yeah.
Awful.
Project
'cause-
Triangle. Next one's Project Square.
Yeah, honestly will be. But the thing is, like,
Project Pentagon.
Made by Square Enix. Triangle.
it looks like the same team who did Octopath Traveler, which is a game I actually quite liked, but that was also, when they announced that, was the working title. Octopath Traveler was the working title.
That's also
So,
a poor
I-
name, but at least it's better than.
It's not a great name, is it? It's better than Project
It's
Triangle.
way
but-
better.
Yeah.
At least it feels like a name.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
is a base name that's never going to be a name for a game. Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
It should not be.
I kind of wanted to. Just
I think it might be.
It's going to
for
be
the love-
Triangle Project or
There was
something.
no indication they were changing it.
Oh,
Is it a Japanese company?
I have no idea, to be honest. I thought it was an indie game.
What, Square Enix?
It's not,
What this?
it's not Square
Yeah,
Enix, is
it's
it?
what, triangle strategy?
Yeah, it's not Square Enix.
Yeah,
Is it?
it is. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, because they developed.
I thought it was Circle Company.
That's Rhombus Company.
I'm 99% sure that is Square Enix.
If it's Square Enix, that'd be so funny. Triangle Square.
He's a raccoon.
Oh my god, it actually is Square Enix.
He's a raccoon, actually.
It is Square Enix.
Okay, so Square Enix have called this triangle strategy.
Yeah.
Project
Okay.
Triangle Strategy.
They've taken a corner out.
Hey.
Yeah, they've been cutting corners, boys.
Hey, that's better than my
Good
one.
God.
I'll cut mine out.
Overall, this direct just. I don't think it's not what people wanted.
Nah, it was just pants. There was just nothing. They were like announcing games that have been out for like years, like Outer Wilds coming on the Switch. It's been out for like 2 years, I swear.
Yeah.
On everything else.
Great.
Yeah.
On everything else. Fall Guys.
On the Game Pass for free.
That's a good game, actually.
Well, yeah. Fall Guys?
No, the Outer Wilds.
Oh, Outer Wilds. Yeah. No, yeah, it looks like a great game.
Have you not played it? It's good.
No, I do need to. Yeah. I probably will.
Pick it up on the Switch.
I could pick it up. Well, it'd probably like 50 quid.
I just can't believe they didn't announce Scott Pilgrim.
Still,
they keep
it's the
putting it
perfect
on.
opportunity.
Just like stick it on there. It's the perfect game for it.
So they've obviously got Fall Guys coming on there as well, which has kind of died now, I guess. It's not really that popular anymore.
I think
Never played it.
What's weird with that is they've also said they're releasing it on Xbox in the summer as well. So they've waited 6 months to announce a game that's already been and gone,
It's just pointless, isn't it?
coming to other platforms. But I think that's to do with the company, though, the Fall Guys,
Yeah.
people that made it. They said they were exclusively doing for PlayStation and PC.
It's a weird
So
combo.
they kind of wrote their own demise, didn't they? Because it was huge in the summer.
I didn't know it wasn't on the Xbox, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was. Because I was out of town when it was popular. So by the time I came back, no one was playing it anymore. And I was only gone for like a week.
When you say out of town, it sounds really mysterious.
Yeah, that sounded really sus.
I
I was out of town.
Sin man
Quotation
and mad
marks.
dog.
Yeah.
I was on holiday.
I think that's pretty much everything for that, isn't it?
For that one, yeah. Surprised we got that much out of it, to be
Yeah,
fair.
very disappointing.
I know.
I thought that was going to be a quick one.
So
It's not great.
next up we had the PlayStation State of Play,
State of Play.
which I thought was a lot better, personally.
It was better.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't hard to be better, I guess.
I mean, the bar was very low.
The bar
wasn't it?
was low.
It was helped by only being half an hour, I found.
Definitely. Like, that's the thing, not to go back to the direct, but because it was 50 minutes, it was like, oh, this is going to be like, they're going to announce so many Zelda things.
Yeah,
then
there's
it
just
wasn't.
too many little things. And going back to it again, Project Triangle, the trailer for that was like 20 minutes, I swear.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the talking over the top was
That was
awful.
so long.
It was such a
This
long
is how
one.
you play the game.
They like did a little trailer, and then it was like each part of the game. And like, oh my god.
So there were two games from the State of Play that I thought looked quite interesting. The one that I thought looked like the Disney film that I've already forgotten the name of was Kino Bridge of
Raya.
Spirits. Raya, yeah, the Disney thing.
Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah.
Which just looks like a Pixar film in game.
Yeah, it honestly does.
Yeah.
And even when they were doing gameplay, it held up to that sort of standard,
Yeah.
which I thought was
Yeah.
amazing. And then the other one for me was Deathloop. I thought looked interesting.
Yeah. So the Pixar one
Yeah.
is Kina.
Kina Bridge of
Kina?
Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits. Yeah. That looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It does look good.
Yeah, the more on Deathloop, the more I see of that game, the better it gets. 'Cause
Yeah.
when they first
Because I remember
Yeah.
it was like it was either their last State of Play or E3. And I thought the trailer then looked awful. But the one this time round looked really good.
It does basically look like Dishonored.
And it really did.
The
Yeah,
engine.
it did help that I found out it was by Arcane Studios who do Dishonored and
Yeah.
Prey.
Yeah. It is basically Dishonored in the
Yeah.
future, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Another
I'm
game
happy
that
with
stuck
that.
out to me was Sifu, which is the one that
Yes.
instantly,
Yes.
I think
Because
a lot of us thought.
have you played Absolver?
like old boy.
Have I made this up in my head?
I played Absolver.
Yeah,
that's
so
like
it's
very
by
martial
the
arts.
same studio.
I've played Absolver.
Yeah.
I played Absolver. That's cool because their mechanics in that game are like great.
Yeah,
like,
so
the kind of
would you
martial art
recommend that?
mechanics.
Because I was thinking of picking it up just to kind of get a taste of their sort of gameplay and stuff. Because I
Yeah, I
thought
need
the
to
art
give it
style
another
of this looked really interesting for Sifu.
Yeah,
It does look good, yeah.
If it's on I think it's on Game Pass.
It's not.
Oh right, it used to be then.
Yeah, maybe
must
they're
have
taking it
taken
off.
Taking it
That's a
off,
shame.
yeah.
that's where I played it. But
okay.
it's quite like an online game. I think that's kind of what put me off.
Oh yeah. See, that instantly makes me go nah.
Whereas this looks a bit more
weird.
kind of like yeah, I'll give it a miss. Whereas this looks a bit more story driven.
Yeah,
linear,
it does. Yeah,
which
the animation looks great.
I think
I love the style.
it's so good.
The style looks so good.
Almost looks like a painting.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Literally, you could take a frame from that and you can hang it on your wall.
It's probably cell shaded.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Maybe. We'll let Matt decide.
Thanks. The master of cell shading. Yeah.
Is this the one that had like the homage to Old Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, and like the raid, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the raid was the other one we were talking about.
Yeah, because me, Matt, and Mark were on chat whilst we were watching, and then Sam was texting in everything else about 30 seconds later, and everything I said, Sam then texted in 30 seconds later.
Sam wasn't invited.
No, Sam was not invited. He'd been a bad boy.
You're gonna punish me.
Oh Lord.
Not sure what's happened on this episode.
This is what happens when you spend a week moving. They've gone delirious.
We have gone.
I haven't moved. I have no excuse.
I haven't moved yet. Technically, I'm going to move.
You moved me to tears, man.
Is that a good thing?
No.
Okay. Anyway, this looks good. This game looks good.
Yeah. Was there anything else that anyone was excited for in that one?
Anyway.
Good fighting game.
Knockout City looked amazing. I've always thought to myself when I'm playing Fortnite, do you know what I really need in this? Dodgeballs.
I mean, I think you're on your own on that one, but cool.
Unreal. No, I think that was also... Wasn't Knockout City also in the Direct, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we did see that one twice.
Yeah.
And then, what else did we... I think we had a few other things that I think we liked. That looked, like Returnal looked all right.
It did. It's got an awful name.
Yeah. Awful name.
Yeah, awful name. And then Oddworld, I think that would be fun to pick up, but probably for cheap. I wouldn't pick it up.
I think that's, if it was on Game Pass, I'd probably play it. Again, that's probably one I'd actually rather play on the Switch.
Yeah, I think that could easily be a Switch game.
It's all like 2D games or 2.5D. I normally want to play on Switch, if anything. Because I just won't play them on the TV.
Maybe a Little Nightmares would be better on the Switch, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's on it.
What was the other one? There was the kind of cool coloured style one.
I think I know what you mean.
Oh, Solar Ash. I
liked the style, but it didn't...
No Man's Sky style, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It's made by the same guys who made Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah, that always looked interesting. I never picked it up myself.
No, I've never picked it up myself either, but
I have a feeling it might be a roguelike.
Yeah, I think it kind of is, isn't it? Yeah. It's a very popular indie game, I know that much.
Yeah, I've played of it quite a lot.
I know you can play...
I always get it mixed up with Hades.
Yeah, I think it's a similar sort of style, isn't it, I think? Yeah, I don't know. Solar Ash didn't grab me, I have to say.
No, the gameplay didn't look particularly interesting. I didn't really know what the point of what you were meant to be doing was.
No, I think the art style is pretty cool.
The art style was great.
Yeah.
Did love the art style, to be fair.
It's kind of it reminded me a lot of Gravity Rush, which is another one you made, PlayStation game. Yeah. Which is you're flying around, picking up coins and whatnot. Probably not coins, but something similar.
Just make it sound like Sonic.
It's basically Sonic. Yeah. It's 3D Sonic. Yeah.
Those were meant to be quite good, weren't they? The Gravity Rush ones.
I think they were popular. Yeah, I think I played one on the Vita.
Yeah, they had the Vita and they also had the PS4, and they were quite a big deal at the time.
So it's similar to that. It kind of looks. I like the look of Returnal initially.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. What was the concept of that one? Like it's another death loop sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was very much like Alien.
Yeah, the aesthetic, definitely.
Yeah. And then the combat looks very much like Anthem.
Not a bad thing. That's the way. It reminded me of Control a bit.
Yes. It's very similar to Control.
Which I really enjoyed.
That's not a bad shout, actually. It is pretty similar.
It's not about the same studio or anything, is it?
Who makes Control?
The guys who did Alan Wake. I know that.
I hate Alan.
Oh, no, I think they've only done those two games, actually. So
I think they've done Quantum Break as well.
Yeah, they're both. I hate both. It's Remedy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
You might not like Control, but it is a fantastic game.
I do want to play it. That's one on my list, definitely.
I think it plays very differently, so you might be all right with it.
Yeah, it's the one I've not felt like playing because I went through a period of kind of completing games that I own and never got around to. Played Alan Wake, hated it, and I thought, okay, right, I'll play Quantum Break because it was on my list to play. Might be a bit better. Hated that as well. It's just I couldn't get on with the style.
I think this one is meant to be very different gameplay wise, and it is on Game Pass.
It does look very different.
So you might like it. I really enjoyed it.
The thing is, you never say no to a game. You've always got to give them a go.
Exactly. Or are you saying me personally?
No, I'm just saying generally. I think it's I went through a long period of going, I'm not going to play that game and just kind of pigeonholing certain things because even though I don't like the other two things that the company have produced, I might like Control. They might have just been those two games in particular just don't sit with me.
I remember playing the first half hour of Alan Wake, and I think I just got to it too late. It was so dated by the time I got to it.
I've actually been wanting to play it recently, so maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I think
sometimes that's just me. Yeah.
Sometimes playing the older games, you can go, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But not for me anymore.
Yeah, and the story, whilst sounding intriguing, didn't hook me. But Control's way better.
Yeah, I played a bit of Control recently on my PC, actually. And yeah, compared to the previous ones by Remedy, I will say that Control is, like, fantastic. Like, it's just so... it controls so well.
It sounds really stupid to say, but it really does. It is very noteworthy.
It's probably the highest budget game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Returnal is probably going to be worth a play.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I definitely...
It might rate on the Matscarometer. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't think it's worth picking up a PS5 for, though.
No. I'm sure it's going to come on something else.
How many of these were actually exclusives, though?
I don't think any of them really were.
Because that's what surprised me, because I was waiting to hear about, like, God of War 2 and stuff like that. That was, like, the one game I was like, I want to hear something about it, and there was just nothing.
Do you think it's to do with the stock? Because I know PS5 have had a real big problem with getting stock out to people. They even, I think yesterday, put out a new set of stock and it went within seconds. Yeah, I think you got scalpers, haven't you? That's the big problem.
Oh,
yeah.
The worst people.
But surely no one's buying them for the inflated price. I'd like to hope they wouldn't be.
You can sell them to, like, there's certain companies that are taking them on. They'll give you more money than what they're actually retailing at if you sell it to them. And then they're selling it higher.
Oh, God.
That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. What did we all think of the Pokemon Direct?
The bear.
Well, I was actually going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's before we went on to that.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It's something, I've never really played them, but it's something I appreciate.
It's like a dog just barked in the background.
I turned around, I thought it'd be enough, but apparently not.
It was like...
It was a cough. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, so it's something I get why people like it. I really do, but it's something I've not really ever played because it's not really my sort of game. You kind of
just wait for Matt to shit on a game again.
Survive until 6 a.m. or whatever it is in a room. Like looking at cameras, it doesn't really appeal to me. But this one's very different. It's like first person, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the one thing I thought is it's very, very bright and very Vegas. Which is a bit weird.
The bits they showed, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because it's like, oh, it's ray tracing. You can see the reflections of the lights in the floor. So they just put as many lights in it as possible.
Is this the one guy making it again? Because the whole thing with the old series is it was literally one guy making everything.
Surely they need to get someone else on board now.
What was his name?
David. I don't fucking know.
I was hoping you were going to say Freddy.
Good name. David, middle name, I don't.
Freddy.
His last name is fucking no.
Freddy F. Freddy.
It had potential, didn't it? With the you've got people chasing. Well, how many is it? I think it's like 4 or 5 characters that are coming after you.
Yeah,
could be quite a good multiplayer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah,
kind of like how we used to play Alien and Layers of Fear, stuff like that. It could be interesting.
But it could
I think
be more
that's
like,
definitely see what people kind of review it as.
It could be more like Dead by Daylight though, where one of you plays the person chasing, and then there's like a few of you.
Yeah, I think it's got good potential.
I would have thought they'd advertise that more if it was that, though. They would have explicitly said that, and I don't remember. It'd be nice for them
to have the mode, because it's obviously more the single player bit of it, I guess. And then it would be nice to have the mode of that as well. I think that'd be quite good. Yeah. That would make me want to play it more, I think.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think the important thing here as well is noting that Five Nights at Freddy's is an iOS and Android app.
Oh, really?
To start with, isn't it?
Well,
and now
initially?
it's initially it was kind of a phone thing, and I think it's got such a big audience now. I know there's like pop vinyls and posters
it's because it was huge with streamers.
Yeah.
Really solidified it. It was massive at one point.
Same with any game like Fall Guys, Among Us. It's all streamers,
Yeah, it was
isn't
just
it,
one of
really?
those ones that fell into
Fortnite. Yeah.
Then next up we have the Pokemon Direct.
I have a soundbite for that. I've been very lax
Oh, here
on
we go.
soundbites today.
You have, actually. I'm very impressed.
It's really loud.
I was expecting there to be like a joke in there or something.
Yeah.
Why? I thought it was going to be the South Park version of Pokemon.
Oh, I should have done that.
You also have the Electro.
I did do this in one evening this week for like 10 minutes.
Oh my god, my ears are bleeding. It's super effective against my ears.
Yeah, my laptop was on a chair. I keep forgetting it's there, basically. But yeah, Pokemon.
I do think out of all of the directs, this one is the one that kind of got me most like. I think it was just a huge nostalgia trip. Obviously, like the first 5-10 minutes were just like
5-10 minutes. Yeah, it was.
You remember Pokemon, guys?
Do you remember picking it up on the Game Boy?
I will admit that first 5 minutes was really cool, but this just made me realise I don't care about Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Like at all.
I think it is like it's the same thing every time, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
although they have kind of changed it up this time.
This
around,
new open world thing. If anyone can remember the name, just say it.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, it looks
You
cool,
can snipe a Pokemon.
and I love the old school looking Pokeballs. It's
Yeah.
like set in the past.
Yeah,
But they should have made that game about 15 years ago. For one.
Yeah.
there was a Pokemon game that was like
Not
maybe
open
it's
world
Digimon.
like this.
Not as big as this.
Maybe it's Digimon.
It was
Fantastic.
Digimon, I think, on the PS2.
Yeah, no, they've never done like a proper open world one.
No.
Must have been Digimon. Yeah.
Because it took until the Switch, Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu, Let's Go Pikachu,
Yeah.
for them to put it onto a TV. Up until now, it's been handhelds.
Yeah, you got like the
that
weird
it's taken
like
that long.
spin-off games, like there was like Gale of Darkness or stuff like that, like Pokemon Colosseum games, I think.
Colosseum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think like I said, with the first 5 minutes, whilst it was like an awesome nostalgia trip, it also really illustrated how formulaic Pokemon is.
Oh, for sure.
It was
Yeah.
like video game, trading cards, anime, and they said that like 500 times.
Times, yeah.
They said jet twice, I'm pretty sure.
Jet.
Like plane or something.
Jet.
Yeah, they've got jets. They've got like Pokemon stuff down the side of them. They did like special anniversary ones. Thing is,
Oh my god, I missed that.
I think the thing with Pokemon is it's so frustrating that we've had 25 years of pretty much the same style of game, but it is the biggest franchise of all time. Like by a lot.
know, that's the thing. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
ridiculous.
that's the thing. It's too successful, I think, because they've
Kind
had
of
no
is,
reason
yeah.
to be like, oh shit, we need to change things up because we're losing sales. Because it's that successful that they're like, well, why would we try anything new? Because we might lose sales, you know.
I'm pretty sure in those 25 years, Game Freak, the guys who do it, have only had one other original IP, and it was like last year.
Oh, was that village one or something?
Yeah, the Little Town Hero,
yeah.
I think it was
That's-
called or something.
That's it. Yeah. That's
Weird.
crazy, isn't it?
There's
25
companies
years.
Run this, yeah.
How
companies
massively-
run solely on Pokemon.
Yeah,
That's
they've been
crazy.
coasting on that for years.
Pokemon is such. The games are obviously like so generational. So like obviously we kind of grew up when it first started, but like kids are like what 10-year-olds today like will pick up the latest Pokemon game and it'll feel like a brand new experience for them. And I think that's what they rely on so heavily.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hence the success of the franchise.
Yeah, it's really inoffensive as well, and probably one of those ones where parents go, "Oh, it's Pokemon. Yeah, that's fine. You can play that."
Yeah, you know it's going to be kid friendly, don't you?
Yeah,
I think
Trusted brand.
it's not just the game either, is it? The trading card situation, I think, is what really kind of blew it into the stratosphere, and it still continues to this day.
that's crazy. I didn't even know
crazy.
they were still doing that.
They're still doing the cards,
No.
and the card values are getting ridiculous now. So recently, YouTuber Logan Paul he's been buying up kind of booster boxes, the first generation ones. And I think the most recent one he bought was about 360,000. He was auctioning off each deck for someone to open for like 40k, and all the money was going to charity. You've got kind of a big finance YouTuber, Gary V, that's been on the back of it, and I think Logic dropped like $250,000 on a Charizard card.
As in the wrapper?
Yeah, it's in the wrapper. I'm trying to find what amount he dropped on it.
That's crazy. I just didn't realise they were still so popular. And I can't believe those kids who were collecting them in school were fucking right.
Yeah, so Logic paid 183,000 for a first edition Charizard card.
What a waste of money. He should give it to me. And I could buy some better things for myself.
Yeah, so I recently, when kind of the hype of the Pokemon cards was kind of picking back up again, when I went to visit my parents, went up in the loft and see if I could find my old set, and I managed to pull it out, and I still got just absolute tons of Pokemon cards.
You managed to what?
What, go up the loft?
Oh.
I'll pull out down.
There we go.
I said it. No.
So yeah, the other thing that was announced was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake, wasn't it? Which I
kind of wish it had been Gold and Silver, personally.
Yeah, they kind of skipped a few, didn't they?
Those were the only other ones I really played, other than Red and Blue.
I wasn't sure about the trailer itself, because there was a slight scene where you've got a fight going on, and it felt like they were going to use the Let's Go mechanics, and then it would push back to kind of the over-the-top view, and it looked almost a bit like the DS version, but obviously more HD.
Yeah, they've done a real... It's weird, because like some of the remakes, like where they do Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, was like full on. They really like bumped up the Pokemon style and graphics for that, but this one they've kind of kept it very similar to the original style, which is like
the fights are very much similar to Sword and Shield, I think.
Yeah. It's like two separate games kind of like smashed into one.
It kind of is, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. There must be a reason for them to have done that. I guess it's kind of easier to take over the mechanics of it if the normal, the walking around bit's the same.
I guess so. I wonder if they're because they're working on this new kind of open world game, whether they haven't really got the resource to do like a full on remake.
Yeah, like another Let's Go one.
Yeah, pretty much.
What did we think of the gameplay of the open world one?
I thought it looked interesting.
So much.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Breath of the Wild Pokemon edition.
I think it's very early days, but it does. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, definitely.
I definitely think that's why they've said it in the past as well, to like kind of get past the whole. Oh, here's a big city. I definitely think that's why they've done that. It's so they don't have to build modern-looking cities.
Yeah. Well, they can make like empty landscape, can't they? Yeah. They can get away with that. Yeah. It looks great. But...
It does look cool.
That's one of the things that drew me to this game in particular, was that it's kind of got a more like feudal Japan setting, which haven't really seen in Pokemon before.
It was the Pokeball that I quite liked.
You like
the manual class.
I like the balls.
I like the balls. Yeah.
I like the fact you can kind of creep up in a bush and almost like snipe it out of nowhere, just like yeet. Throw the ball, caught it. Yeah, let's go.
I wonder if you get a stealth bonus for throwing a Pokeball out of a bush. There's a joke there.
It is definitely different from what we're used to at this point.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad they're finally experimenting with something else.
Yeah,
it does feel like something new for once in the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah, I do wonder how much they're actually going to deviate from the standard formula. I wonder how they're going to do fights. I think that's the big one I'm really wondering about. Because if they keep those as turn-based, what is the point?
I don't know how they're going to do fights, Because it kind of, they show a little bit, don't they? And it kind of looks like it's turn-based.
Yeah, it looks like you're selecting moves again.
Yeah, because there's like a fight with, I think it's a Rhyhorn and whatever Lucario's pre-evolution is.
I kind of want them to do it a bit like they did with Pokemon Stadium on the N64. So... you line up what the attack's going to be, but sometimes the order switches.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I really want... Did you guys ever play Pokken Tournament? I think me and Matt played that.
We did,
That was on the Switch at the very start?
Yeah, I think it was a Wii U port.
It was, wasn't it?
Of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To bulk out the Switch library. But that was like a full-on, kind of like a fighting game, but it had like a really weird structure to it, where like the fights were structured into like 3 different stages, I guess. And that felt like it was just like really exhilarating, and it felt like you're watching like the anime almost. And I've always wanted them to like bring that into like one of the mainline games, and I was hoping they were going to do it for this, but yeah, it looks like it's sticking to turn-based.
Turn-based, yeah. That would be amazing though if they did the open world thing, and then you're actually fighting Pokemon as the Pokemon. That'd be so good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I definitely think that's the way they should do it, as opposed to turn-based. Personally.
I mean, it took them like 24 years to make it so the Pokemon are actually visible on the screen, rather than walking through grass and just
That's very
Pokemon.
True.
So potentially we might actually have these little changes.
In another 25 years, we'll be able to fight as the Pokemon.
Yeah, 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
You can be the Pokemon.
yeah, I think
I wouldn't even be surprised at this point.
When we're almost 60.
honestly,
Ah, yes. They're bringing out the new Pokemon. You can play as the Pokemon.
the weird thing was like the Pokemon games is they will bring in like new mechanics, and then the next game they take them out again. So like,
Oh, that's stupid. What is that about?
yeah, there was like I think it was the Pokemon Gold and Silver remakes that they did for DS. You could have any Pokemon outside of the Pokeball, like whatever was first in your party, and it would like follow you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I think they never did it again, or like they haven't done it in recent games. Definitely,
They did it in Sun and Moon, I think.
oh, did they? But not in like
think
Sword and
so.
Shield. And it's like,
No, yeah.
Why?
It's weird. Yeah. I feel like
I
X
think-
and Y does it, but I might
yeah,
be wrong.
Can we agree their naming conventions are pretty poor as well?
they've gone.
They're not the greatest.
They started off pretty cool, and now it's just like
Just is what it is, really. Yeah.
Like Sun and
what's the
Moon, great,
opposites,
but
can
like
we?
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
oh yeah,
Ultra.
But those
What
just
was, like,
indicate
when-
remakes, don't they?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
No, because they
What?
weren't remakes. They were
they were
3DS
like
releases.
sequels.
They were literally in sequence.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were different to the Sun and
Yeah.
Moon ones.
yeah.
Okay, I thought they were remakes.
They
I
are,
think you're
aren't they?
thinking of the Ruby and Sapphire one, which was like a Mega Ruby and
Maybe.
Alpha
yeah.
Sapphire or
I
something.
mean,
like
it was around the same time that Nintendo brought out the new Nintendo 3DS. And the new part
okay.
was the new part of the name. And also the Wii U, which confused people with the Wii and the Wii U. So it was like a whole period of time when Nintendo were like, we've got this new
Why can't-
stuff, but we'll make it seem like it's not new to confuse the hell out of you.
DLC, but
I
not
remember
DLC.
thinking the Wii U was like an attachment for the Wii. For like
Yeah,
the longest
100%.
time.
That's
Yeah.
what I
I
thought.
was like, oh, it's like a tablet that you attach to the Wii, which, yeah.
They could have gone through all the vowels, couldn't they, really? They could have gone the Wii A, the Wii E, the Wii O.
Well, because I say about the new thing, and they also have Pokemon Snap part of the
Oh, yes.
video, and they've called it New Pokemon Snap. Because Nintendo,
like,
why name
oh.
something different?
Well, I mean, it is new, to be fair.
It's not going to be new in a year, though.
Yeah, but what happens when you want to sell it on? What happens
They
when
do
you want to
seem
sell it on
very.
eBay?
They do seem very opposed to numbers as a entity. They don't really do numbers, do they? Apart from like Splatoon.
No.
Mario 1, Mario 2.
Have any of you guys played Pokemon Snap?
I did
No.
when it came out,
No.
but I can't
Oh, you've not?
remember it.
So the original one came out, I think it's been the only version, if I'm correct, was on the N64.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
that's right,
before we
yeah.
jumped into the call for the podcast, I was talking to Matt and Addison. I said, back in the day, there used to be kind of kiosks that you could go to. I think
Yeah.
it was Woolworths, so I can't quite remember, but you could take in your Pokemon Snap cartridge and you could print off the pictures you'd taken.
So that's kind of cool. Like that kind of gives like purpose to it.
That is cool. Yeah, that is definitely more of a
Whereas
purpose.
I feel like this is just going to be like you can share them on Twitter.
But I've
Yeah,
never seen
that's
like,
exactly what it's gonna be.
I've never seen a reason for the game though, because I imagine the first playthrough's fun. It's like, oh look, I'm on the rails and I can take a photo of Metapod
People do love that
using
game, though.
Arden, because why not? Weedle
Yeah.
using his string shot, great. Licky tongues, like flapping his tongue all over the shop, sick.
What noise would that be?
But I think at that point, like first
Licky tongues
playthrough,
licking up all Weedle's string shot. Yeah.
did you really want to?
Oh my god! Disgusting.
Sorry, Mark. Continue.
Sorry.
It's funny because I was alluding to all of those, and then you said it, so I'm glad.
Yeah, because it was really fucking soul. People do love the first Snap game, so there are probably people who are really looking forward to this.
Yeah, in fact,
I'm sure
you can
there
add
is.
like
Yeah.
heart filters now. Is great, and if you can post it to Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, Bebo, MySpace.
Is Bebo still a thing?
I think Bebo's coming back.
MySpace.
MSN.
I think it is, yeah.
Wherever you want to
Oh, my
put
Lord.
it. Obviously, some people be using that as their profile picture, I imagine, on Twitter. I'll probably see a lot of them kicking about. But
I get why people like it, but it is a bit too boring for me. I
Yeah,
think.
it's definitely not for me personally.
It's not much of a game.
No.
no, it'd be a game you'd pick up probably for like £15-20 max, and I don't think it's ever going to get down to that price.
No, probably
Not
not.
with the
no.
Switch tax, no.
So I think across the board, it's been pretty disappointing. I feel like the pandemic's
Yeah.
probably hit these harder than we think.
The Pokemon one's
possibly.
definitely the best one.
Yeah,
Pokemon one's definitely
yeah.
the best.
No,
Yeah.
see, I like the PlayStation one the most personally.
Weirdly, looking back at it, it actually isn't as bad as I remember. I don't know why.
What I'm going to try and do with these is just like temper my expectations, because I with like Nintendo Direct, I was like, yeah, we're going to get fucking Zelda, everything, and then PlayStation, I was like, God of War 2 is going to be announced.
Yeah.
Or like there's going to be a trailer for it at least. I think I'm just going to like try not to expect anything going into these in the hopes that they come off a bit better.
That's the way to do it, isn't it? Unfortunately.
This is the way.
I do.
Which is luckily how I go into them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pessimistic, definitely.
Yep, for sure.
Do you think Xbox are going to bring one out? Because like this might be prime time for them just to bring something out to build a bit of hype. Because
I
no one
feel like
else
they
is
didn't
competing.
have one that long ago, because when was that one where they did all the Halo Infinite stuff?
Oh, that was like last July, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but if everyone's only doing it yearly, why do they need to do another one?
Just got to wait till July, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like hope, because obviously the Halo thing just didn't go down well at all.
No, God, no. Yeah.
But I'm really excited for that game, because I think it hopefully will turn out to be a great Halo game. They definitely need like a bit of return.
I do hope so, yeah.
So I hope that they come out with like an incredible like gameplay trailer whenever they do it next. They kind of have to, really, because obviously there's such backlash for the last one that they need to like.
That's crazy. I thought everyone liked the last trailer, because I remember watching it going, yeah, it looks okay.
Oh no!
And then
I mean,
being surprised at how much people liked it.
Everyone hated the graphics, didn't they?
really?
Oh, okay.
No, it was. I think
Different
the
circles,
gameplay,
I guess.
Yeah,
It's the right Halo.
Halo Infinite. Yeah.
Halo Infinite, yeah.
I know like people just tore apart the graphics because they were like, "How is it? This is next gen." But I think the gameplay I definitely liked.
It looked like Halo.
Yeah, yeah. I was personally okay with the graphics. I was like, "Yeah, I'm excited to play
Tick
this."
that
but
box, yeah.
Thing is, a lot of the time they're not shooting on those graphics anyway. And if people are watching it, they're not watching it on 4K monitors across the board
know.
mostly, are they? So you're
Yeah,
going to
that's-
criticise, but realistically, YouTube's got to do some sort of compression.
Also, wouldn't you rather have the video that tempers expectations rather than like a cyberpunk situation?
Or Watch
Yeah,
Dogs.
yeah.
Yeah, or Watch Dogs,
God, yeah,
going
yeah.
back 10 years.
Didn't Cyberpunk? They literally created a fake.
Their
trailer.
whole first trailer gameplay video was completely faked, basically.
That's
Pretty
mental.
abysmal, isn't it? That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think it's the problem. There's too much. It's pressure as well, isn't it? They had so much outside pressure, and I think a lot of companies seem to be going down that route now.
It's a shame.
Okay, get a game out.
You're just getting all these games that come out and they're just all rubbish. They're
Yeah.
just all
Yeah.
rubbish. There's no game I could think of in the last year that's like I've just gone, wow, that was amazing. There's nothing I could think of really.
The thing is, you are getting indie developers now that are coming through, and they're
Yeah.
doing so much better jobs. It's just like because Stardew Valley, for instance, there's one guy that put that together, and when there's an issue, he will literally patch it within the day
Oh my
It's
god.
amazing, really.
and
isn't it?
tweet
Yeah.
people that he's done it. It's just like that's insane.
Yeah.
And they're still
you've
releasing
got-
content for that game. They recently had an update adding like
know.
local co-op. Like,
Yeah, they did,
a
didn't
month
they? Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And that game's been out for years.
It's just crazy. And then you've got a AAA
Yeah.
company like Activision that just don't seem to do any updates.
No.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like even though I was kind of annoyed that we didn't see anything of the Breath of the Wild sequel, at the same time I'm like, take your time. Like
Yeah.
I think Cyberpunk
That's true,
has definitely
yeah.
taught me patience.
At least they acknowledged it. I think that's the thing. He kind of said,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Zelda, but I'm not talking about what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
weird, to
he
be fair.
addressed it straight
Like,
away.
until he mentioned it, I hadn't even considered that they would show anything for it.
No,
Oh, wow,
I think
yeah.
I thought the
I
same,
really didn't
actually.
think they
Yeah.
would.
I think it was, for me, it was just, again, the expectation of it being the 35th year, like, oh, this is what they're going to talk about it, but yeah.
I think especially after Mario, I don't know if my hype would have been as high had they not done so much for Mario's 35th.
I really think, not to go back to the Direct too much, but they should have just, like, dropped, like, the Wind Waker HD remaster, like, on the day of that Direct. I think that would have, like, really gave.
Yeah, how hard would that have been? They've ported so many other Wii U games over, so why not that one? Yeah,
they clearly love doing it. So
yeah,
like,
clearly
how hard would that
their
be?
main selling point, apparently.
Yeah, if they like, imagine they would have been like, and later today you can buy Wind Waker HD on your Switch. I would have
It'd be
gone
amazing.
fucking mental.
I'd have bought it.
And at £30 as well, you'd sell like millions of units there and then.
Yeah.
It could be in a couple of months. It's turned out they have done that, but it wasn't ready in time, so they just drop it randomly.
Yeah, it's certainly going to make an interesting year of releases, I think, film-wise as well as games.
And that is it. We hope you enjoyed listening to our Tepid Take.
If you want to send us your Tepid takes, then email us at thetepidtake@outlook.com.
And give us a follow and a like on Instagram at The Tepid Take.
And we've been the fucking, what's it called again?